the business-to-business marketing. We finished up by discussing how the companies enter, kinds of protectionism we have. Finally, let's just to finish up, talk about a trade show. What is a trade show? Do you know? Can anybody explain to me what is a trade show? Have you ever been to a trade show? No? Do you know what it is? What is it? Yes? What kind of trade shows can we have? Like cars? Usually it's business to business. So we could have a furniture trade show. You have some furniture. You're selling some furniture. You set up a stall or a stand. You understand stall? Yeah. Stall is like some desk or some place with your product, and the people walk past and you explain to them about the features and benefits of your products. So this is quite common for business to business. For example, you're selling some technological product like some chip for the computer. Okay? So there will be some trade fair in Shanghai or in the US or in Germany, some country, and people from all around the world will go to the trade fair and you show your chip, and compared to the other chip, all the chip manufacturers are going to be at the trade show. So they will hopefully buy your one. So you have to try and network, talk to people, make contacts, okay, sell them your chip, get your company's name known. So other ways for business to business, we can advertise in print media like specific magazine. If we're selling furniture, there are some furniture magazines. Catalogs, send a catalog to the customer. I'm selling some clothes to the clothes shop. I want the clothes shop to buy my clothes. Send them a catalog. Websites, direct mail. What's a very famous website for business to business? Alibaba. What can you do on Alibaba?
Business to make business with.
Do you buy just one of everything?
No, you can buy cans. You can buy cans or I don't know, countries or.
Okay, that company is a Chinese company which was listed on the US stock exchange. It was valued at billions of dollars. Do you know Jack Ma? Have you heard of Jack Ma?
Yes.
Chinese students? Who is Jack Ma?
As a CEO.
CEO.
So he made this one, right? So you want to buy something in bulk from China for your business, you can go on Alibaba and use that kind of way. So also direct mail, just mailing our things to people. So trade shows is very important for business to business. If you're doing sales in business to business, it's pretty sure that you will have to go on a business trip to a trade show. Okay? If you go there, you shouldn't be shy. Right? Usually in sales, they look for outgoing people, and you have to find out about the other products, find out about the new trends, and try to make networks and find new customers for your product. So in Europe, trade shows are more important than the US. The media budget, 22% Europeans spend on trade shows. Americans spend just 5%. So in trade shows, we can exhibit and demonstrate the product to the potential user. Can you explain about the features and benefits of a product? That's marketing. Do you know the unique selling point? If you studied the business English, you studied about the features and the benefits and the unique selling point. So you need to explain this to the users. Of course, as we saw, the benefits and features for business to business is different than business to consumer. how is a benefit? Can you give me one example of a benefit which is different between business to business, business to consumer? I'm selling calculators, for example. What is the benefit of the calculator for the consumer?
Calculate whatever you need to calculate.
You can calculate quickly wherever you go, right? What about the benefit for the business who's selling the calculators? What kind of benefits are they interested in?
Makes it faster. It makes the business faster, not the business got some calculations you need.
Well, you're just selling calculators. So you're not the consumer, you're a business, you're a shop who's selling calculators. What benefit do you get from this product? Cheap cost, right? Fast delivery time. Can we return the product? Is it faulty? Does it break often? If there's a problem, can I get the money quickly? If I don't sell all the calculators, can I send them back? Okay? So you have to explain the different benefits to business. Okay, you can also see your competitors. What are your competitors doing? Make a report. Usually if you go to the trade show, you have to make a report about, it's not all that fun, right? You have to look at the competitors and make a report. So it's also, we can, as we said, create sales, make new customers, make relationships with agents, distributors, franchisees, and suppliers. Online trade shows are starting now, but if we have a difficult economic environment, people can't pay to go to the trade show, then we can just try to make an online one. But it's not the same as a live trade show because we don't have meeting the people face to face. Do you know Donald Trump?
Yes.
Who's Donald Trump?
Investor.
He's a famous US businessman. He owns a lot of real estate in the US and he owns the Trump hotels. He has a TV show called The Apprentice. Have you ever watched a TV show called The Apprentice? Do you know his face?
No.
He was talking about running for president in the US. But he has a TV show called The Apprentice. It's good for your English, business English, if you watch this show. And also, a lot of this show is to do with sales and marketing. Okay, so we have The Apprentice in the UK with Alan Sugar, and The Apprentice in the US with. Do you understand Apprentice? Apprentice is somebody who's learning the job. So he's the boss and there you want to be his apprentice. Follow him around and learn from him. Do you want to follow him around and learn from him? For 1 year?
Yeah.
Of course they have to do some work too, right? But mainly they're learning from working at the high level. So they all go into the competition. Every week one is eliminated. Finally one person gets like $100,000 and also for 1 year job and the experience of working with Donald Trump. So as I say, if you watch that, it's good for your marketing. But Donald Trump stresses that he always meets the people face to face. Why do you think he says that face to face is important? When he's doing a deal, he always wants to meet the person face to face. Why do you think that is? Maybe your generation is different generations than Donald Trump. I'm not sure how old he is. His hair, he looks just 20. The rest, maybe 60. So what do you think is the benefit of meeting people face to face?
They see that you care about them and you do things.
Okay, they see that you care about them, you made the effort to meet them, right? Anything else?
You can actually watch the body language, which tells you a lot.
Yes, a lot of communication is by body language. Some people say 90% of communication is by body language. Do you think it's easier to solve a problem talking to somebody face to face or on the internet or over the phone?
Well, it's easier to solve it face to face.
Why?
It's easier to watch body language.
Does the body language?
Yeah, it says a lot about the decisions and behavior, and then it's faster.
quicker, it's easier, right? So people feel nicer as well when they're together. They feel a little bit more like reciprocating. Reciprocating means I give you something, you give me something. Okay? So in the trade show we can get face-to-face contact with people. So people also remember better if they see the face rather than human memory has a special, or humans have evolved, so they have a special way of remembering faces more than other things, right? So people remember well if they see your face. So it's not a matter of selling the right product the first time. Instead, selling a continuously changed product, keep it right over time. So as I said, the technology is changing very quickly these days. So a Korean company makes a deal at the trade show. They're selling some computer chips. But Chinese company starts to make computer chips at the same price next year. So I have to try and manage a relationship with my customer that he's not going to, or she's not going to suddenly change the Chinese company because they just changed their price. What could I say to my customer to convince them not to change to your Korean company? You sold me computer chips, right? But guess what? China now has the same technology and they're selling at a cheaper price because their labor cost is less. What are you going to say to me to convince me not to buy from him? We met last year at the trade fair.
Our product world market share is number one. This means our product quality is very good than other company.
But my engineers tested the two products. They said his quality is just as good.
And our after service very good.
Go on. I'm interested. Yes? How is it good?
Our product.
How is your after service good?
If we export our product and our product make some trouble in 1 year
Yes?
and we don't pay the service repair.
You repair very quickly?
Yes.
Okay. They also offered the same thing.
No. We pay
Chinese company.
quickly
Okay.
and country origin.
So you have to stress you have a long you have your relationship that you can change things quickly. They know you, you know them, so if they want to change something, you can change it for them individually, right? They're not sure about the other company because they didn't do business with them before, but they're sure about you because they already did business. So it's kind of a risk to go to the other company. How do they know they will deliver on time and do all those things? Okay? So you have to have a relationship with your customer where you can explain all those things to them, right? And then they decide, okay, we think it's better to stay with you than buying, even though the price is cheaper, right? So we need to make the relationship an important attribute of the transaction. Okay, so you're stressing to me that because of our relationship, you can give me some benefits, right? I want to change the color, exactly, you change, no problem, change the color immediately, right? That kind of thing. Also, you have to try and, we talked about earlier, making a competitive advantage. The Chinese company catches up on your technology, your engineers are also going to have to do something to make better technology. Keep changing, keep making competitive advantage. Is business easy?
No.
Can you just make something and sit back and say, oh, that's great now, I'll just sit back and be happy now for the next 20 years? Or make a contract with a customer and say, oh, I made a big contract, yes, now I'll be rich. It's not easy, right? You have to manage those things. So business to business, as we saw, is a big thing. In business to business, the relationship is more important than business to consumer, right? But I guess that in Asia, you already know the importance of relationships, right? In Asia, the relationships are more important than in other countries. So I get one disappointment for Asian people. Might be, you might think our relationship is important, but I'm from Ireland, so I don't think our relationship is important. Does that bee sting? Is it dangerous?
Yes.
Korean students?
Yes.
It's a stinging bee. Open the door and hope it goes out. Usually the bee doesn't attack you if you're not scared. If you don't move suddenly, it might attack you. Just if you stay calm and don't move much. It's quite a big bee. Okay. So, we can also use the internet. How can we, Korean students, how can you make a good relationship with people? Or Asian students, how can you make a good relationship with people, with your customers, or your employees, or so on? What do you need to do?
You mean a business relationship or?
What kind of things can you do with your customer to make a good relationship?
Eat dinner together.
Eat dinner together?
Or give some gift.
Give a gift? How often are you going to give them a gift?
Drink some drink.
How often are you going to give them a gift? Drink together?
When we have something important, I will give gift.
What kind of thing is important?
Make some deals before we make some deals.
Before you make a deal, give a gift?
No
Yeah.
gift.
You don't like giving gifts?
No, it's sort of bribery.
You think it's bribery? But what about if they're your customer? Is that bribery? Can you give them a gift for their birthday?
Not really.
What about a birthday card? Can you send a birthday card?
No. We're in business partners, not friends.
Yes, you see that's the cultural difference, right? If you send some business card or birthday card to your customer, maybe they'll feel happy. Then they'll have a better relationship. So you might find that even though you have a better price and better quality than another customer, Korean or Chinese customer might not want your business because they don't like you, or they want to do business with somebody who understands them better, right? So it's similar culture in Latin America. So Northern Europe, even Southern Europe is different. If they don't like you in Spain, they won't do business with you, right? Because they don't like you. They're not that. But in northern countries, they're more worried about just is your product good quality, or is your product a good price, okay? So I guess giving gifts every so often, right? Small gifts is not bribery, just a very small gift. Usually they say something that's not reasonable, right? Not too much. What's a small gift that you could give to your customer?
Can I ask?
Yes.
In Ireland, do you consider the bribery or not?
Just generally, it's not considered bribery if it's a small gift, like a key ring or something, right? Or just a token is okay, right? But big gifts like paying for the child's university education, that's not okay, right? Can you understand the difference?
Actually, I think maybe business lunch is okay.
Business lunch, hospitality, those kind of things. It's not illegal, right? Some people might say it's unethical, some of those things. But if you want to make a relationship with your customer, you can take them to sports events. You can buy them small gifts. Remember their birthday, right? Remember about their family. Asian students, do you have any more tips? I'm not very good at that. I didn't buy any gift for my wife. So now she just buys gifts for herself. Tells me later, by the way, you bought me a gift, and I'll say, okay, you can get the money at the end of the month. Right? So Asian students, what do you think is a good way? You already said drinking together, buying gifts, having dinner, anything else?
In normal situations, we already before when we built a B2B business relationship, we can have a business trip or travel together. Because we can live together for several days and we can know each other better, so maybe a better relationship will be built.
Okay, go together, right? I heard of a guy who one time he had a Japanese customer, Brazilian guy, and his Japanese customer wanted to sleep in the same room at night. in the hotel. You just want to sleep in the same room together. What would you say?
Never.
Hmm?
Was it men and men or?
Yes, but he just wants to sleep on the floor. Because he just sleeps on the floor and you sleep on the bed. But just he said if we sleep in the same room, we have better relationship or feel closer.
Extended relationship.
Just business relationship. But he feels, it was his culture, he felt more closer to you. You can see some old Korean men holding hands when they're drinking, right? Is that true or not? Yeah, so that kind of thing, different kind of thinking, right? What are you going to do? He's your customer, you need to sell a lot of goods.
No.
He says, I feel I can trust you better if we just
Touch each other.
So
No.
if he's a man, then definitely no.
Or holding hands, they're drinking, he wants to hold your hand. Because he feels close to you.
I see it in this culture. No.
Hmm? You're going to say no?
No. Of course.
Then he's going to be insulted, maybe you lose
It's
business.
invading of personal space for us.
Yes, okay. So maybe that's cultural elective, right? If you don't do that, it might be okay, right? But I'm just giving an example.
Is there what nationality it was?
The Brazilian guy was okay. He said,
Brazilian.
okay, you can sleep in the room, and nothing happened. Of course, nothing happened, right? Just they sleep in the room, right? Just they want to make a good relationship. And then the Japanese guy felt better the next day. Right? So they did a good business. So he gave that example, right? Where he adapted to the cultural thing to make a relationship. Okay? These days we can use the internet. So we can send some e-card, or it's easier to remember some dates or something like that. Right? So when I used to work, I had some volunteer workers, and I had to give them some gifts sometime, right? Because they were volunteer workers. And when I gave them the gift, it seems like a very simple and silly thing, obvious thing, right? But when I give them the gift, they feel better. They're happier, right? Well, you guys know that in Asia. My wife often gets gift from her company, right? I say, well, you work a lot of overtime. Gift is not equals to the overtime pay. But she doesn't care. She feels happy because she got a gift. Or she gets invited to the house of the CEO or something like that for a barbecue, right? Then she's happy because she feels like part of the family or something like that. But they don't have that culture in Ireland or the UK. So I guess for Korean people or Asian people who go to the Northern Europe or the US, you might feel a little bit left out because your supplier or customer doesn't care about you enough, right? Don't buy you gifts, or don't take you out much, or don't treat you like a family or a strong relationship, especially in the workplace if you work for the US company. Very competitive and professional environment, not like family situation. So in Korea, for me, it has a nice way. Both ways have their positive and negative, right? Nice way to feel like you're part of a family, right? But another way it might be that it's the same if you work for your father, he can take advantage of you, right? Because you're his son. If you're part of the family, then they can make you work overtime and that kind of thing. So that's positive and negative things. So then let's move on to the next part. Do you have any question about this? Adapting your product for the consumer or business to business? No? So we need to find out in business to business especially what the company wants. What do the customers want and meet their demands. So let's move on to the next part then. So the next part is the supply chain. So just click on that part and download the PPT. Do you want to work in sales? Yes? Usually there are a lot of jobs in sales, right? It depends. Usually, in my opinion, some people have personality for sales. They're outgoing and they like meeting people, right? Then those people can work in sales a long time. But other people don't have such a good personality for sales. Usually they work just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years and try to switch to another area because they feel tired all the time having to be outgoing and very friendly to people. So it depends, I think, on people's personality. So we're going to talk about the international marketing channels. So we can get a competitive advantage by distribution. Do you understand distribution? What does distribute mean? Spread out or give out. I can distribute the papers to each one. So we want to distribute our product. If we have more aggressive distribution, if we have more reliable distribution or more efficient distribution than the other companies, we can make an advantage. Do you understand aggressive? What does aggressive mean? Are you aggressive? What kind of animal is aggressive? Tigers? What? Not, unless you annoy them. You annoy them. If you leave them alone, they're okay. So it's tigers, bears, so on, right?
And as well.
Bull. Bull is aggressive. Yes.
Shouldn't have talked about it.
He knew you were saying he's aggressive. So
Yeah.
he got annoyed. I told you not to annoy the beat. Really good, right? So if it's reliable, you're not late or something like that. Efficient means saves time and money. Quicker distribution system. So distribution is very important. I have a friend from Mexico. I have a few friends from Mexico. One of them has an avocado farm. Do you like avocado? Another one has a beef farm. They want to sell avocado and beef in China because it's, they think Chinese people these days are starting to eat more beef. Is that true? Chinese people are starting to eat more beef?
Yes.
A lot more beef every year, right? Also, they might start having taste for avocado. Do you know avocado?
No.
It's a green vegetable from Mexico or South America. So they want to sell their beef in China. But one of the guys couldn't sell. Why? Because he couldn't find any distribution channel. He studied about how to make a distribution channel in China, but he couldn't find it. Okay, so he couldn't find the stores to sell his beef. He couldn't find the supermarkets. He couldn't find the distributor to distribute the beef. So distribution channel can be a challenge for companies in international marketing. So we want to have these things, then we can make a better way. So let's talk about the structures, the distribution patterns, making decisions, middlemen. What does middleman mean? I should say middle person these days, but it says middleman. What does that mean? Neutral? We're talking about doing business.
And someone.
Oh, like broker, yes?
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Will we do the business through?
Yeah, here somebody is in the middle. This is the middle. Okay? Customer, supplier, middle. So all of the consumer and business-to-business industrial products go through a distribution process. Physical handling, passage of ownership, the documents, buying and selling negotiations between the middlemen and producers, buying and selling negotiation between the middlemen and customers. So each country market has its own structure for distribution. Make the goods go from the producer, supplier to the customer. So first of all, we can have an import. Let's talk about the structure. So we can have import-oriented distribution structure. So the importer is controlling a fixed supply of goods. Okay. Marketing system develops around the philosophy of selling a limited supply of goods at high prices to a small number of affluent companies. So if we think about the car industry, for example in Ireland, one guy will buy the license from Renault. Do you know Renault? French car company? Yes? So one guy can buy the license from Renault. So now he has the license in Ireland to sell Renault cars. Can he limit the number of Renault cars in Ireland?
Yes.
If he wants.
Yes.
He's the only person who is allowed to sell Renault cars in Ireland.
Sure.
Okay? Can he limit the number of cars if he wants? Yes. Right? He might not want to do that. He might want to do that. Okay? So in that case, the importer is controlling. I buy the license from Renault to sell their car. It costs a lot of money, millions of dollars. Okay? Then I'm the only person who's authorized to buy the new Renault cars from the Renault factory in France and sell them in Ireland. So cars in Ireland are usually a lot more expensive than on the continent. That's one of the reasons. The importer is controlling the price. Okay? They are selling, especially if you have here, if you think about Ferrari, they're selling to just an affluent customer. Okay? Can I just go to Italy, start buying Ferraris and sell them in Korea? Can I go to Italy, buy some Ferraris, put them on a ship, come to Italy, come to Korea and start selling them? No, Ferrari has to give me permission to do that. Okay? The company has to give me permission to sell their product. So I have to buy the license from Ferrari to do that. So car company often works like this. Okay? In that case, the demand could it be higher than supply? The customer is seeking the supply from just a limited number of middlemen. The distribution system are local. We don't have many countries that are working in this way. It's not that common. Next one is the Japanese distribution structure. So this is, like in China and a little bit in Korea, it's a non-tariff barrier to entry. It's hard for the foreign companies to enter Japan because of their distribution system. They have a very high density of middlemen. It means like in Japan they have a lot of middlemen. Okay? The manufacturers control the channels. Manufacturer controls. Business philosophy is very shaped by the culture. So the relationship is very important in Japan. If you don't have the relationship with somebody, they might not accept your product into their supermarket or into their place. And they also have some large-scale retail store law. So Japan has specific law which says if you want to set up a retail store, you have to get the permission from the local businesses. Do you think your local businesses are going to give permission for a big Walmart to open up? Italy has a similar law. The local business has to give permission for the new store. So it's quite hard to open up this large retail store in Japan, okay? Unless the businesses think it's profitable for them. So we have a high density of middlemen. So we can have even 4 intermediaries here before they reach the customer. So in Korea, I even noticed in the university book business, there are some middlemen who are buying books from the manufacturer and then going around and selling to the university. Right? So I just think I can just buy, the students can just buy online, or I can just buy online, or something like that, right? But they still have middlemen. Japan has a large number of independent groceries and bakeries, 94% of all retail stores. Small stores account for 59% of the retail sales. In the US, we have supermarkets, discount food stores and department stores. Small stores is just 35% of food sales. Okay, 60% in Japan. So we can get the idea that if I want to make a distribution system in the US, if I get into Walmart, sell my product in Walmart, already I've reached a lot of US customers. But if I go to Japan or Italy, where they have a lot of small retail stores, then I have to go around individually to all of those stores and get them, convince them to take my product. Which one takes more time? In Japan, right? It takes more time. I have to go around to more people and convince more people to take my product. So, how can we control the channel? First one is inventory financing. Do you understand inventory? What does inventory mean?
Warehousing.
Another word for inventory in English.
Stock.
Stock or goods. Stock or goods, right? So you're selling bicycles, right? So the middlemen in Japan will give you some credit. They can provide the credit. Do you understand credit? Do you have a credit card? So they couldn't take on the credit in the middle. So I'm the supplier. I sell the good to the middleman. Okay, the middleman pays me immediately. Okay, pays me. The middleman pays me. But the middleman sells on to the customer. Does the customer have to pay the middleman immediately? No, they can 6 months later pay the middleman. Okay, so this is one reason why you can use the middleman. Okay, for paid now or paid later. So inventory financing. Cumulative rebates. Do you understand rebates? Rebate means some discount or money back. So if you sell a lot of things through here, they can give you some discount, 10% or something like that. Merchandise returns. The middleman might take the hit if the products are returned. So customer returns the product, immediately give the money back, no problem. Okay? Then they'll maybe get the money back from the supplier, could take a long time. So helping with the returns. And promotional support. They can give some advertising to them, help them to sell their goods. A little bit like in the franchise. You can see McDonald's helps the franchise to advertise. Or just Coca-Cola gives the promotional support to the shops who are selling Coca-Cola, that kind of thing. They give them posters and so on. So if we control the channels, then people prefer to use this traditional system. Okay? And you come in as a supplier and you want to sell me beef, but you say I have to pay you in 3 months. I'm not that interested. In the old system I can pay after 6 months or 9 months. What about returns? What about rebates? Okay? So, business philosophy in Japan, loyalty, harmony and friendship. Korea is similar to Japan, right? Don't like me, right? I'm not a very nice, I'm quite rude from Ireland, okay? I don't smile much and I'm very rude and I don't care about our relationship, about being friends or not, okay? But my product is $1 per unit less. She's selling for $100 per unit and I'm selling for $99 per unit. But you like her. Get on very well, feel like a very nice relationship. She's very nice, polite. Who are you going to do business with? With her? Who are you going to do business with? You're not sure, you'll have to think about it. So anyway, in Japan, loyalty is an important word. Do you understand loyalty? Are you loyal? In the US, they're not that loyal. You are doing business for 10 years, you know each other very well, but I come in with 10% lower price. Okay? Then, okay, look, it was nice knowing you, but I'm sorry, I got a lower price. What can I do? Okay? I'm going to change to other company. But in Korea or Japan, it's not so much like that, right? They're loyal, they know each other, maybe they know her children, right? They know they've been to her house, they know the family. So, you think you can come in and with my product is 10% cheaper. Why don't you buy my product? What's wrong with you, right? So some foreign companies have that problem in Korea or Japan. They don't understand that in Asia the loyalty is more emphasized. Okay, you've already been doing business for a long time. So what if it's cheaper? I don't care, right? Harmony. This is also in the group work. We said that in a good teamwork, two things get completed. First, the task gets completed well. Second, the group is happy. Okay, so in Asia, we can see that the group being happy is often as important as the task, right? Not having disharmony or problems in the group. Whereas in the US, people like the problem. They think it's good to have a problem or competition or discussion because we get it out in the open, right? And then we can improve, we can make ourselves better. So actually, I know this from playing soccer. When I play soccer in Ireland, always I do a bad pass, all the guys say to me, "What are you doing? It's really bad, right?" You make a mistake, they tell you, "Don't do that," and they give you some suggestion for the next time. They say, "Next time don't do that," right? I feel quite annoyed or something like that, right? But when I came to Korea, they never criticized each other playing soccer. So at the start, somebody kicked the shot and the goalkeeper led in the goal. I want to shout at him, "What are you doing? Stop the ball," right? But I had to stop myself. I had to change to Korean culture. What do you think the Korean soccer players will think about me if I'm always criticizing them?
Very different. But Korea culture is very important one thing. That is most has to older people.
Respect the older people too, right? So for example, the older player is the goalkeeper, he lets in the goal, and I say, oh, you're really bad, how could you let in that goal? What are you doing? What are they going to think about me? Be my friend, happy, nice team, or don't talk to me? Which?
You maybe going to bench.
Go to the bench, not play it on the team the next game. Even though I'm a good player, doesn't matter. I'm causing disharmony in the team, so I should go to the bench, right? So you can understand, I can understand from playing soccer here, and I like it now. Actually, you can get some, both of them have positive points. By playing a very harmony way with the team, nobody criticizes each other ever. The atmosphere is better and people have more confidence. But good point of the Irish system is, by criticizing the other players, the players understand their mistake and they can improve, right? So we can't say that one system is better than the other system, right? But we can just say that they're different systems. So we can understand that we have to have a harmonious relationship in Asia, and you guys can understand that if foreigners are not interested in making a harmonious relationship with you, it's not their fault, it's their culture. So don't be too hard on foreigners who are not making harmonious group relationship, okay? Or if you go to the foreign country in the group with foreigners, they're not going to be as interested in having a nice relationship or harmonious relationship. So don't feel bad about that. It's not your fault, right? Just different culture. So in Japan, it's hard for the foreign companies to break in because they don't have the long relationship. They're not good at making a relationship and making friends and making harmonious things. Okay? Similar for Korea. So this supports a long-term dealer-supplier relationship. So actually we've seen a number of foreign companies. Walmart tried to come to Korea but failed, had to leave Korea. Right? Nokia also came to Korea and had to leave Korea. Maybe they didn't understand all of these things well, right? But also for the Korean companies who go to the foreign country, they also have to understand that they can't expect these kind of things in the foreign country either. Okay? So the costs also of the Japanese consumer goods are among the highest in the world as a result of this and lack of competition. In Korea, the phone charge is very expensive. I think there's a lack of competition in the phone market in Korea. Japanese law gives the small retailer big advantage over the development of larger stores. So the small shop can decide whether the larger stores come or not. And also the Japanese consumer, they favor service over price. And Japanese consumers are also loyal to their brands. In Korea and China, are you guys loyal to brands? If you buy a brand at the start, do you keep buying the same brand? Even if another brand seems to be better? Or you change quickly? Brand? You change quickly? Korean students? Keep the same brands? You're loyal to your brand? Okay. Do you like good service? Do you like good service, Korean students? Is service important?
Example, Apple phone, brand value. I think it's better than.
So you buy Apple, so you keep buying Apple now?
Yes.
Apple got in early.
Yes.
So I have to say that after service, and service is very quick and good in Korea. It's not like that in Ireland or other countries I've been to. If something happens with a problem, I can get fixed very quickly and for free. And when I go to the restaurant, there's somebody also. Even in E-Mart, the first time I got a fright, what's the guy doing? What does he want? He was just saying hello, welcome to the store, right? I was very suspicious. Why do they have that kind of service? Okay, so you have to have a very good service if you want to enter the Korean or the Japanese market. Okay, so again, service is not as important in other countries as it is here. So this is the large-scale retail store law. So the large stores must have approval from the local government. Okay, all the local retailers have to agree. So Toys R Us, it took them 3 years to set up a store in Japan. Of course, that was very long. Okay, so we have some new channel structures. We'll talk about, we'll do a case study about e-commerce later in the week. Okay, but do you have any questions about what we studied so far? Okay, let's finish there for today then. We'll finish discussing the channels next time.
네 개, 그때 자꾸 들어오고 그것까지.